A massive underwater river flowing along the bottom of the Black Sea has been found by scientists. A discovery that could help explain how life manages to survive in the deep oceans away from the nutrient-rich waters found close to land. Let's find out. Scientists' terrifying new discovery in this river shocked the entire world. Is there a river under the sea? This is the question that has been going on in minds of people ever since the news of the discovery of a river under the sea started making rounds all over the place. According to this news, a group of divers have discovered an undersea river, complete with trees and leaves flowing on the seabed. Like those on land, the submarine waterways carve out channels, tributaries, floodplains, rapids, and even waterfalls. One river, discovered underneath the Black Sea, is up to 115 feet deep in places and more than half a mile wide. If found on land, scientists estimate the so far unnamed waterway would be the world's sixth largest river in terms of the amount of water flowing through it. Researchers working in the Black Sea have found currents of water 350 times greater than the River Thames flowing along the seabed, carving out channels much like a river on the land. The discovery could help explain how life manages to survive in the deep ocean far out to sea away from the nutrient-rich waters that are found close to land, as the rivers carry sediment and nutrients with them. The scientists, based at the University of Leeds, used a robotic submarine to study for the first time a deep channel that had been found on the seabed. They found a river of highly salty water flowing along the deep channel at the bottom of the Black Sea, creating riverbanks and floodplains, much like a river found on land. Dr. Dan Parsons, from the university's School of Earth and Environment, said, "The water in the channels is denser than the surrounding seawater because it has higher salinity and is carrying so much sediment. It flows down the sea shelf and out into the abyssal plain much like a river on land. The abyssal plains of our oceans are like the deserts of the marine world, but these channels can deliver nutrients and ingredients needed for life out over these deserts. This means they could be vitally important, like arteries providing life to the deep ocean." The key difference we found from terrestrial rivers was that as the flow goes round the bend, the water spirals in the opposite way to rivers on land. The undersea river discovered by Dr. Parsons and his colleagues, which is yet to be named, stems from salty water spilling through the Bosphorus Strait from the Mediterranean into the Black Sea, where the water has a lower salt content. This causes the dense water from the Mediterranean to flow like a river along the seabed, carving the channel with banks around 115 feet deep and 0.6 of a mile wide. It is the only active undersea river to have been found so far. Rather than flows of fresh, or at least salty water, undersea rivers are slurries of silt and sand that cascade along channels on the seabed. Each particle tumbles through the water under its own weight. A new river starts on the continental shelf like an avalanche in the mountains, picking up speed and momentum as it moves until it flows like a liquid. Once started, an undersea river can flow for weeks and even months at a time, moving the same amount of sediment in one go that all the world's land-based rivers transport in an entire year. Scientists have long suspected they can form after sonar scans of the seabed have revealed meandering channels in many of the world's oceans, although none have been found before to have currents of water flowing through them. Among the largest of these channels is off the coast of Brazil, where the Amazon enters the Atlantic Ocean. Most are believed to have formed when sea levels were much lower, and the channels have been found to be up to 2,500 miles long and several miles wide. The channel in the Black Sea, although much smaller, is the only one to be found still flowing and proves that these mysterious channels are formed by underwater rivers. Unlike ocean trenches, which are geological formations that form at the deepest parts of the ocean due to movements of the tectonic plates, the undersea river channels meander like rivers on land and form banks in the same way by eroding the silt from the bottom of the channel and building it up at the edges. Dr. Parsons found that the Black Sea River is flowing at around 4 miles per hour, with 22,000 cubic meters of water passing through the channel every second, 350 times greater than the flow of the Thames, and 10 times greater than Europe's biggest river, the Rhine. The Black Sea River flows only for around 37 miles until it reaches the edge of the sea shelf and dissipates into the deep sea. Dr. Parsons said data from the research will also be important for oil companies looking to drill in areas where these rivers exist. He said, "This is the first time we have been able to show that there is a flow through a natural channel system and take direct measurements of what the flow is like and how that is linked to the shape and morphology of the channel." These findings have made scientists all over the world consider the possibility of the existence of more such rivers under the sea and on ocean beds. What was earlier considered a miracle or maybe an instance of paranormal activity has now scientific explanations to make this process clearer. This makes one thing certain: rivers under the sea can exist scientifically. The reason for the formation of such rivers can be varied. Sometimes it stems from the bigger part of the sea underneath and flows and carries a lot of sediments, which over time converted into a complete river-like body of its own. The river in the sea discovered by Dr. Parson and his team is believed to have been formed as a result of this phenomenon. Stemming from the salty water of the Mediterranean Sea into the Black Sea through the Bosphorus Strait, this undersea river carves a channel of its own. The sediments carried by this flow make a riverbed forming a separate structure. Even in Mexico, there exists Cenote Angelita, a very famous sea river. However, scientists believe a separate phenomenon for this finding. This undersea river is believed to be actually a bed of thick layers of hydrogen sulfide gas, which is produced by bacteria of the seabed upon decomposition of organic matter. This is nothing like a real river in many terms, as this is just a thick layer of foul-smelling gas that curves and bends its path like a river would. However, the illusion it creates is of a river, even with river banks and foliage. This is enough to classify it as an undersea river, in the opinion of many scientists. Ever since the news of such rivers under the sea, scientists all over the world have been looking for more such examples. Many have been found and even more may be discovered. However, this makes one thing clear. As much as we would like the mythological angle to it, a river underwater is just as scientific as atoms and molecules. So that's it. Please like, share, and comment your thoughts below if you liked this video. Remember to subscribe to see our next video. Stay safe, and we will be back soon with another video.